guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're seeing me for the very first time, and thank you for stopping by. My name is Praise. I live in the UK. I'm Nigerian. Today I am sharing a very important story of my life living Nigeria during the NSAS protest. Guys, this was magical for me. I didn't plan to leave Nigeria during crisis. There was crisis going on when my visa got ready, so it's not really a plan. It was something that happened and I had to just do what I had to do. I couldn't stop my life from moving, okay, because of the protest. I still had to move because that was the plan. And before I left to pick up my visa, I got there. The crisis was already at a very high peak in it. On my way back home, the whole road was blocked. There was no place to go. Protesters were everywhere. I couldn't even get something to eat. We were stuck in traffic. I and my sis were just stuck in traffic. I couldn't really get somewhere to even buy lunch. We literally had to check online. We get to every restaurant and they are closed, or they don't have food, or maybe you can't even sit to eat, okay, because you know the COVID restrictions were still on. Some of them, people like Chicken Republic, didn't even have chicken to offer us, and it was ridiculous. We're like, Chicken Republic doesn't have chicken. You guys have to explain what this is about. So we felt frustrated. I personally didn't even have to celebrate my visa. Yeah, I got my visa. I couldn't get home. I literally was on the road till evening, till even night. I was scared. The driver that drove us was trying every possible way to get a route to take us home. My husband all the way in the UK was even telling me, okay, you guys should try this route, you guys should try the other route, and it wasn't easy. Okay, we kept trying every route you could. Nothing was working. Like the whole road was blocked. Every damn place was blocked in ABJ then. We eventually got a restaurant where we could eat. We ordered for food. We had to just carry the food into the car. We were eating in the car because the whole place was so unpredictable. It was getting late. It was almost 5 p.m. Like, it was getting very dark. It was looking as if it was going to rain. The whole day was just a mess. So we just stayed in the car gradually until we got home. And the moment I got home, I started feeling very tired and weak. There was I didn't even feel I needed to celebrate no more, because I've spent my whole day in the car. This was something I left very early in the morning for. I picked it up, and throughout the day from 1 p.m. till 5, I was in traffic. It doesn't just happen on a normal day, because going was like 30 minutes drive. Coming back, I spent over 5 hours just trying to navigate the road and get back to my place. When I eventually got back, we ate, we celebrated briefly, and it became clearer. Like, everything was like, oh, now you have to just get out of this country right now. It was just very clear that, okay, my initial plan has to change. Before they block the airline, right? Anything could happen at that point. We didn't know where the protest was heading, everything was going to end. So everybody's advice, my in-laws were like, you have to leave as soon as possible. My parents were saying the same thing. My husband was saying the same thing. Are you coming in today or tomorrow? And a baby girl had to make plans before leaving the country, right? Okay, one of the major plans I needed to get done, no matter the rush, was my hair, because I've heard stories about hair in this country, and guys, no kidding, this hair is like the best you can get. I'm not even joking. Because of the lockdown, basically, not like salons don't do very well, but because of the lockdown, it's difficult to just get the very best style you want. You have to know someone who owns a salon or who is very good with hair before you get to achieve that. So basically, I feel even very lucky. I just, to still look good, it's not even easy. I know in Nigeria we change as often as possible, but it's not the same here. Maybe after the lockdown, a lot of things will change. this girl has to be changing her hair as often as possible. I can't even deal. I had to literally call a stylist. I had to literally call a lady who makes hair, my stylist in Abuja, who had to do my hair shopping. She got to the market. She had to go to Taco Market. Everybody who lives in Abuja should know Taco Market or should have heard. She had to go there to shop for me, to basically shop every goddamn hair product she knew. And she shopped and came back home and started telling me, this one is used for this is used for that, this is how you do this is how you. She put me through basically. And I filled a whole bag, a whole, the biggest box. Half of it was just filled with hair products, extensions, wigs, everything I needed about hair. Like, she basically did all that. And my in-laws on the other side had to go to the market to shop for food items, foodstuffs. This family of mine, they love me so much. They basically went, they bought every food stuff, spices, food. They bought it. They bought the basics. And me, the plan was, I am going to sleep over at my in-laws because they live in ABJ. I'm going to sleep over at their place before heading to the airport the next day. That plan was messed up. I'm coming to that. Basically, how this whole plans changed is something I don't know about, because the day I was supposed to leave, my hair products were there. The things I got for myself, they were there. Things like my makeup, my sister's a makeup artist. She had to do the makeup shopping with me. And after all that, I had my box filled with clothes. This is one thing I will tell you guys. If you're traveling to the UK from Nigeria, don't even bother carrying a box filled with cloth, because it's useless. Use that box to pack your food items, if you would even listen. I basically didn't know this, so I had like 3 major luggages to the airport. These guys are looking for a particular kg, and if they don't get to see that, to pay for extra load, there's nothing you can do about that, and that would be like about $40 or something. I don't know, but it depends on the airline. So the stuffs we had, my in-laws were supposed to package the food items, and then I come over to the place with my stuff, and we have to merge everything together before we head to the airport. But guess what? The protest continued and continued and continued. That even in the daytime, there's traffic everywhere. If I ever have to leave for the airport, my flight was for 7 a.m. If I ever have to leave for airport, I should leave for the airport, let's say 2 hours before, and get to the airport and do whatever I have to do. But we were heading to my in-laws. On the road, they were shooting, they were doing all sorts on the road. We had to stop, and we called them. I called my mother-in-law. I explained everything to her. She was like, oh, that we have to go back. My house was very far from the airport. I needed to just stay somewhere very close to the airport, so that the next morning, when I take off around 4 or 5, it wouldn't be a very long journey. Okay, so I spoke with my husband. He suggested somewhere close to the airport. We stayed there, had to do all the emergency spending. At that point, I don't even care how much the hotel costs. I just want to sleep and get the fuck out of this country the next day. That was exactly how this girl was feeling. And you wouldn't even blame me, because I've had it up to here. And guess what? My foodstuffs were still at my in-laws. Okay, so my brother-in-law had to bring the food items. It was a very rugged night. I mean, everybody felt pain. Every one of us felt pain. We literally felt pain. We had to pray. We had to hold on to God already. The road was already blocked. There were protesters everywhere. It was just getting very bloody. So my father-in-law had to drop them off so they could find their way, because it felt safer, walking than driving. Got to the hotel, we had to pay for another room, because I just refused them from going back. I'm like, There's no way you guys will find your way back. It doesn't make sense. How can you start living this night? I'm talking about like 10 p.m. or thereabouts. It was already late with all of this that is happening. You guys are going nowhere. You have to the airport. Trouble. They were like, oh, my bag is too big. They said it was too big. Where's my hand luggage? Everything was looking very big. So they gave me another bag. I had to repack my stuff into the bag. I kept doing that, and guess what? I was still there. The people who came 30 minutes 1 hour after me got into the plane, I was still there repacking and packing, and asked me to pay. I paid. I tried. My dad, everybody was calling. I stopped even picking my calls. I wanted to pick up the calls when I could say I've boarded, but right there I was still packing and repacking, moving things from one box to the other. It was terrible. Okay, a man saw me crying. I was like, oh, why are you crying? I said I left a lot of things in this box because they said my luggage is too big and I have paid. And he was like, oh my god, that he doesn't like the fact that I'm crying. He called someone else to help me out, and the lady came and helped me to repack everything. At the end of the day, when I got my boarding pass, I started going back to drop the box with my family because I had to return a particular box. It was too big. So running back, someone saw me there and just said I should go back, that the payment would cover for it. So I started feeling relieved. So I'm going to travel with everything I came with. Thank God. If this camera is changing, please ignore it. This weather. I basically woke up this morning, I saw ice outside, and guess what? It became very sunny afterward. I have to make a clear video talking to you guys about it with proof and evidence, like with pictures, showing you guys what this weather does to me every time. Okay, back to our gist. I felt really relieved. I felt like I had an elder sister walking up to me, coming to help me and all of that. So when she finished, I just carried all the cash I had right there because I felt like, what am I even doing with all this naira? I just carried all the cash I had right there. I gave it to her. I gave to the man. I was like, thank you. They were saying, no, we don't. I said, please, thank you, guys. Thank you for the help. Over 10 checkpoints. I don't know if Nigeria is still like that, but that day we had up to 10 checkpoints, and people who are familiar with the route were like, this is bull crap. Why are we being so intense? Why do we have to go through 10 checkpoints just to get into the plane? Are we criminals? What is it that you guys cannot check in just few minutes? I mean, it was terrible. Everywhere you get to, you stop. That was how I kept stopping. I forgot my laptop, a brand new laptop. I forgot it at the airport. But until I got to London, immediately I got into the airport, I called my dad. I told him I have boarded, and he was really excited. He was like, oh, thank God. And then I called my siblings. I said, you guys can now leave because I have boarded. And they said, oh, thank God, that they were actually waiting to hear from me before heading back home. And I got to London. I had to put on all my jacket because the weather was different, okay? And from London, I had to fly down to... This was how my journey from Nigeria to the UK happened. It wasn't so swift, it wasn't so smooth, but it was all worth it. Thank you guys for watching. Like this video, subscribe, and comment below.
Seats in front of you, and all large items placed into the overhead lockers. If you are sitting in a front row seat, the floor area must be completely clear for takeoff. In our club board cabin, a small bag or the white company bedding can be placed underneath the footstool area. All club suite doors must be secured, open during taxi, takeoff and landing.